So someone with a full auto AK at CQC is going to defeat someone with an FNFAL L1A1 at close range almost every single time. Unless they're a player like Bay or Falcon that knows how to headshot, like, super quick. But even then, you still have, you know, it's Arma, so you're going to have a little bit of desync back and forth. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I need to go to controls. I need to go to special controls. I need to go to TFAR. It's not controls. My bad. It's add-on options. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. But even then, still down here. Probably going to bring all the way down, and I want to turn that on so we can hide that little message down there. But otherwise, let's break down the mission here. So this is made by Banks, one of the veteran mission makers within Friday Night Fights. Background, 21st September 1983. 2 weeks have passed since the latest disastrous British attempt to gain a foothold on the island of Malden. The Prime Minister, in a last-ditch attempt to save face, signed off a covert ops mission to take 2 small settlements on the west on the west side of the island. It's missing words. In the early hours of the morning, the mission was achieved, completely unopposed by the enemy. He gave up trying to do the foothold. British forces Blue 4 have disembarked what remains of the battle group and have unloaded the remaining supplies into sites around the town of La Passage. These actions have seen the British fall into a trap set by Soviet forces, who are now mobilizing to strike from 2 bases on the island, destroying their supply and eliminating any chance for them to retake their overseas territories. This is probably going to be the last mission in the campaign, unless the British side wins. The U.S. Army Green Fort have seen through the ambush and have sent a QRF to halt it in its track. Who knows if it will be enough? Bogle blow, trumpets cry, ogre battle, live forevermore. All right. Area of operations. This is potential final mission of the campaign, as I predicted, and as such, it is particularly large scale. Expect a slow build up to a hellish crescendo. All right. So a lot of maneuvering in this scenario is going to be seen. 2 ammo caches to be destroyed by Soviet forces. Soviets going to be on the offense here, which is going to make it a bit tougher. Soviets were always on the defense in this campaign. Now they're forced to be on the offense. Mission variables, full 50-minute round, 900 meters max view distance. Doesn't look like any magnified optics. Usually when it's blank, it means no. Defender points are 150. The default number is usually 125, so we'll be able to build a little more fortifications than usual. And no night vision equipment because it's meant to be a Cold War style scenario. Blue format is going to be a SMA with 2 HE round, no, 2 AT rounds and 1 HE round. Usually the HE round is listed second. Op 4, 2 AT rounds, 1 HE round. Green 4, only 2 AT rounds. Interesting. Blue 4's uniforms are going to be the paratroopers, British paratroopers with the red berets. Loadouts are going to be FNFALs as their L1A1s, Colt carbines, so they can also have the GL attachments, and then a Browning high power for their secondaries. Machine guns are going to be the light machine gun, the freaking Bren, and then an FN mag for the medium machine gun. Light anti-tank is going to be the M72A Law, and the Recon Sniper, which actually, let's quickly look at the roster here, because usually they don't give... Yeah, so Blue 4 is not going to get a marksman team, or the X-ray group, the sniper group, so we can skip over that. It's going to default probably into Green 4, yeah. For balancing reasons, because those are some pretty powerful kits, they don't give those out to 2 of the teams. So we can skip that for Blue 4. It's just going to be their regular rifles and whatnot. Gruen Aviation, Colt Carbine, and Sterling SMG. Alpha gets access to a mortar with what appears to be HE and smoke shells. Assets, they get the Warrior... it says it has its autocannon. I can assure you it does not have its autocannon. There's no way in hell. Falcon's poking me to say 200 rounds for a Warrior, but give a mobile standardized platform. Yeah. So he only has about 200 HE rounds, and he's going to have 2 800-round boxes of 7.62x51 coax. So that's cute, but I'm glad because he's going to be solo crewing that vehicle. So he's going to pretty much have to treat it like a sniper rifle to really conserve ammo here. It doesn't have the autocannon. Again, it does not have the autocannon. It says it does. Falcon's actually playing that asset right now. He just poked me to say it doesn't. He only has 200 rounds of 12.7 millimeter 50 cal basically, and 2 800 round boxes of the 7.62x51 coax. It does have the smoke screen as well, but you'd have to go into the commander seat to trigger it. And then 3 50 cal statics. Each are going to have 400 rounds across 4 belts of or boxes of 50 cal. Op 4, meanwhile, your standard Soviet equipment here, just to break down everything: platoon lead, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, auto rifleman, assistant grenadier, grenadier IR, which have the hunt IR rounds, which are 40 millimeter grenadier rounds you fire in the air. It deploys a parachute with a camera. You can then access that camera, and it has regular vision and night vision, great for getting your bearings. Compared to your position, enemy positions. Machine gunners, machine gunner assistants, combat engineers, guys that can use explosives, light anti-tank, medium anti-tank 1, medium anti-tank 2, recon infantry scouts, the suppressed shooters, designated marksman, which appears to be an SVD for the Soviets, the dedicated sniper on the X-ray team, crew lead, crewmen, pilots, medics, and then the base kits. They get AK. Okay, I lied. I said earlier it was AKMs, it's AK-74s, but still, high rate of fire. You can switch it to full auto, which you can't do for the Blue 4 weaponry with the FNFALs. Otherwise, you have an RPK and a PKM, which, you know, an RPK versus a Bren. More ammo, and honestly, I think the RPK is a better firing platform. It's a better firing platform overall compared to the Bren, in my opinion. Light anti-tank is going to be RPG-26. Recon get the freaking... a scope Mosin. I always find that funny. They get a scope Mosin, but the marksman getting a freaking SVD with a scope, no less. I'd rather have an SVD than a Mosin any day, but that's just me. And then suppressed shooters get a choice of either 45-round AKSs or 20-round AS-Vals. Oh, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do the meme, but crew and aviation have the same gun choice. Nothing on the CSW. They get 5 transport UAZs. That are closed, 1 that's open. Both can carry 7 people. Mi-8 transport variant. So it has 2 PKT turrets with 1,200 round across 12 belts. So that's a lot. 2 unarmed BRDM transports. Those can be great for quick transportation. 2 transport BTR-40s, 2 armed BTR-40s, and then the 2 BTR-70s for local fire support. Now, I don't think the 14.5 millimeter can penetrate into the Warrior. I know it can at least disable the gun turret, though. So we'll see how things go in that regard. Otherwise, uniform, in case I couldn't read it, it's the Armenian Canada. Armenian Canada, Army, Woody, and Cock? I don't know. Yeah, that's French. Yeah, and then French stuff here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Anyway, I already broke down all of that. I just want to skip down to the marksman, which appears to be an M14 with a bipod. Loadouts are going to be M16A1s with Colt carbines and M9 for the secondary. 249s and M60s. Oh, that's... Those are clearly the best choice. Well, the 249 for the light machine gun is definitely the best choice compared to a Brenner and RPK. M60, can be a little tough to work with. M72A7 Law for the second, light anti-tank. M24 for the sniper, and a choice of a suppressed Mark 14 or an MP5 SD for the suppressed shooters, and then MP5 or a Colt carbine for the crew. Now, assets for them: 4 rubber RHIBs. Those things are just pieces of shit, in my opinion. And then they have 1,000 rounds across... No, 2,000 rounds, technically, across 2 different 240... hotels. Interesting. It's basically just a UH-1H with 240 Bravos on the side, 7.62x51. Either way, but that's a pretty good breakdown here. A lot of assets, a lot of heavy stuff. Looking over at the map. Oh yeah, no, they're spawning in La Trinité and La Rivière. Okay.
So let's give them a warm welcome, shall we?
And the AO is at Le Passant. Okay, so... this is going to really promote Op4 to do a pincer maneuver right off the bat because their forces are so separate. Granted, they could spend the time and rally their forces together, but this is really just promoting a pincer maneuver. Now, Op4 attacking from all the way down here, this is always a hellish position to attack from down slope because you can... see, Blue 4 has the opportunity to put forces on the ridges and really bait anything from coming around. So Op 4 might instead try to go for coming through the forested areas, but then you have these massive open kill zones. that Blue 4 can easily defend. Op 4, meanwhile, they can come in from the northeast or down the road, but again, they have to go down slope in these massive open kill zones that Blue 4 can just defend. So this is a really easy AO for Blue 4 to hunker down on. It's very defensible. The only issue is if Op 4 gets really well entrenched on these ridges, there's not a lot of places Blue 4 can hide, but once Op 4 has to start coming down the ridges, that's when Blue 4 can start getting some licks in. Also, I'd imagine that Green 4 force is probably going to get deployed up here, because, you know, it's all open area right here, but if you put them on nice defensive positions within these ridges, dig some trenches, I mean, it can be a nice piece of real estate to hold and a really hellish piece of real estate to attack. But Blue 4 with those 3 static 50 cals, which are the standing versions no less, I mean, that's going to be really good for Blue 4 to defend this. But let's look at the actual cache sites themselves. We have one in La Passion, looking for the cache site itself. Best way to do it is to select a guy. And actually, it's not based off of that telling me where it is. Interesting. Usually you can select a unit and then look at the map through their eyes and it would tell you, but I guess not. Well, before I go through a needle in a haystack there, let's go through command. So Korvac's going to be commanding the Blue 4 group. He's got Fred being the alpha lead, with Wheaton and Stark being the crew for the mortar. Now, this is significant because out of everyone I have seen do mortar play in Friday night fights, I don't mean offense when I say this to anyone listening, but Stark is the only one that really knows what he's doing. He is the only one that I have seen actually use this piece of equipment effectively, consistently. I've seen other people use it effectively, but not consistently. Stark is the only one where if I see him with this mortar, I know that that mortar's actually going to be a threat. So Blue 4 has an advantage right there because Stark knows how to place these shots. Now, that being said, he's only probably going to get a few kills with it unless Op 4 group their forces really close together. But if you guys recall a few months ago, the Fapovo Island, northwestern corner of the map, that scenario, Stark got like 5 kills on the mortar because he literally baited his opponent team to go into an enemy area that was super well condensed, and then he just mortared the shit out of it, got at least 3 casualties there, and a lot of wounded. So he knows how to play this role. So that is where I would probably put some points on here. Otherwise, for Alpha 1, we got Milo, Arcor, and Banks. Alpha 2, we got Bees with Agent, Confused Pupper, Hawkins, Like Boss, and Bennis. Bravo HQ is led by Ollie with Astronaut and Mech. And we got Bravo 1 with Doc, Lath, and Tantal. Bravo 2 with Circles, Dark Horse, Cola, and Mobile X. Real quick, can I activate my options here? I think my sound is a little higher. Oh, yeah, it is. Let's turn this stuff down a little bit. About to say, things seem a little scuffed, but that's okay. Easy to fix. Bravo 2 has Circles, Dark Horse, Cola, and Mobile X. Already went over that. Mashador leading Charlie HQ. Charlie 1 has Penadero, Newton, Blast, Guerrero, Ant, and Hawk. Charlie 2 has Bambi, Huffalump, Omri, Yod, Fusion, Lan, and Raz. And then Oddball decided to crew with Falcon in the Warrior. I remember last time Falcon was in a Vic, he was doing really well with the Crow system on a Humvee, but then his driver decided to, like, drive right up and stop within 10 meters of an enemy position, and Falcon was just yelling at him. So I hope Oddball doesn't repeat the same mistake we saw last week with that. Otherwise, looking over to Green 4 now, because they're on the same side, we have Sol, Galil, Revanche, Sam, Sismo, and Lolo taking X-Ray, Shy, Green Thumb, Patriot, Olaf under Delta HQ. Delta 1 has Swola, Gazog, Tackleberry, and Ash together under Delta 1, and Mountain Reapers, Incendi, and Nordic Prophet playing as the hotel crew for the helicopter. So X-Ray is going to take a boat in. That's going to take him a while, in my opinion. The Huey would have been able to deposit them a little better, but that's just me personally speaking. Otherwise, looking at the helicopter, excuse me, I saw the helicopter, wanted to say that, but helicopter doesn't have anyone mounted in it. Interesting. All right, so Maz commanding Op 4 here. He's got Tenderbander and Vagrant as his 2IC and Platoon Medic respectively, and it looks like they are in a BTR. Other BTR, hold on. Looks like has Alpha HQ. Oh, that's an interesting name to see. All right, Sayak, Despo, Sushi, Timek, Izzo, and Albin as their X-Ray group. Bayant in the leadership position for Alpha HQ. He has Alpha 1 folded in on him with King Flux, Michael Novix, K-Kier, Guy Fury, and Arma Jesus. Alpha 2 has Ivan, Vakazin, Sevict, Boris, Mixa, Goran, Cole, and Lazar. And we got Scandi Recon as well under Bravo HQ with Malin, Iander, Infidel, Bannister, Whiplash, Nim, and Cindy. Bravo 2 has Katz, Cullis, Purton, Dobbs, Nemesis, Barbarian, and Gavian. We also have GTTF, which is GT Task Force. We got K9 Beyond, the Ozzel, Nick, Mattisfine, Piragoni, and Olivia. And then Ace is what I call him, with Barnes, Skip K, Steve, Theliander, under Charlie 2. And then Delta has 1 RW with Saddam leading Hunavar, Akuzi, N1, Font, and Talon. Delta 2 has Patrick, Omega, Autovisky, and Raven. Hotel has Arcane flying with Wise and Pierce as the co-pilot and gunners, respectively. Now, I'm going to say this right off the bat. Stark with the mortar, great call. But the offensive faction here has Scandi Recon and Pepega Pirates, the two best communities within Friday Night Fights. But they're on the offense, and they're going to be assaulting through a lot of open fields, which in my opinion negates Scandi Recon and Pepega Pirates' efficiency, because even they can't make up for these open areas. I'd say Pepega sometimes can, because their iron sight or ×1 scope marksmanship is amazing. But just with the sheer amount of open areas, the fact that Blue 4 have someone competent on the mortar, it's going to be a tough fight. But otherwise, looking at the cache sites here, since we have a little bit of prediction time left, we have something built right there. They're definitely fortifying these buildings. I actually have no idea where these caches are. We used to have a marker to see them, but I'm going to try again to look at it from their POV. There we go. Okay, so we have that and that. So taking that information, cache 1 in a bit of an interesting place, being put all the way down here somewhere. Yeah, very open and really close to the southern border. So AT-wise, it could potentially get sniped, actually, from over there. So that's a tough call to make. And then the second one is tucked away back here with some boxes here to help defend it, but to at least prevent... Nah, you can still snipe it with AT from the outside if that sign gets knocked over, especially. So that means you have to, right off the bat, you can't hold that individual building. You have to space out your defenses. And that appears to be what Blue 4 is doing. We're actually seeing some pretty heavily spaced out forces here, but Green 4... Please tell me... Okay, no, they're too high. I was about to say, please tell me you're not going to land all the way over here, because that seems like a really bad idea. They're already coming in. Green 4's landed, but the MI8 has actually found where Green 4's landing. They don't have any casualties yet. Great early spot by the MI8. Will it continue to harass, or is it going to fly away? I'd say keep harassing that group, so you can get some early on kills, because that's a great thing to get. They're already turning around. All right. So some early action here by the MI8 to harass the X-Ray group. Good barrage going. That MI8's got to be careful, though, because it is a pretty big target. Even this small team could knock out the engine. What do you do when you get turned into a seagull randomly in Arma 3? That usually means the anti-cheat thinks you have a ripped version of the game and it's trying to punish you, but it does glitch out. So I guess just relog or verify the integrity of your game cache would be my best bet. I do agree with you. What's that? It could be pushed for intel, but if it runs into the UH-1H, it's going to be dead anyway. So at least by doing this, it's stalling one of the Green 4 groups. Plus, you know, some early on harassment's great to stop the Green 4 force from coming in. But look at this. Op 4 is going to rally all of its forces and attack from the southern side. That's a really interesting choice. I mean, at least if it attacked from the eastern flank, I guess because they didn't want to spend the time going uphill, but that's going to be a massive kill zone that they really got to worry about. Mi-8 coming back around. Is it going for a landing? I mean, it's taking damage a little bit. You see some specs on it. Why are they landing? To repair, I would assume. Yeah, I see some black spots on the engine. I think, yeah, they have to be checking for damage then. But it's not damage enough for them to repair. Yeah. Hey, so Pierce is being very defensive with it. Interesting. And yeah, that boat engine is very loud, definitely. I can hear it from all the way over here, and this is at least 400 or 500 meters away since I'm in the air. Good God. All right, Mi-8's coming back around. I guess we can now look. So Sol has the suppressed Mark 14, Revanche has the other suppressed Mark 14, and Lolo is the sniper. Lolo usually does take that sniper role. Yeah, right, Wild Fox? Who knows? Green 4 is allied with Blue 4, yes. Green 4 is meant to be a small U.S. strike team to assist Blue 4, which are British paratroopers, and Op 4 are meant to be Soviets. But here we go. Now the UH-1H is coming in to dogfight with the Mi-8 here. And this is Mountain and Reapers. They dropped off Nordic, and he has a machine gun. Interesting call. UH-1Y going to try to stay above, making a cut so its left side gun can start barraging. There it is. Mi-8 just took a few hits. Engine just went down. And this is what I was talking about. As soon as it gets into a fight, it's plummeting. She's coming in too hard. That's going to be a smack. As soon as it runs into that UH-1H, it's over for the Mi-8. So, looks like Pierce and Arkin have survived. There's one casualty there. Those two Op 4 players have 2 kilometers to go to get into the enemy AO, but they're on their own. But that is going to be it for that part. Just because the helicopter goes down doesn't mean you've lost your prediction. If anything, what's that is kind of right. The helicopter fight is kind of pointless in the long run, but it does provide for some nice entertaining action. I just heard some flares going off, which I think means that Blue 4 tripped one of their own tripwire flare mines, which means at least one combat engineer went the mine route. Because when you play a combat engineer, you have the choice of 4 different types of explosives you can take. You can take 2 explosive satchels, 4 sorry, I'm blanking. 2 explosive satchels, 4 explosive charges, 2 tripwire flares that also include 2 HE tripwires, or 2 or 3 anti-tank mines. Which, either way, anti-tank mines wouldn't have been a bad call on this road, so we'll have to see how that goes. All right, otherwise we got the vehicle crews over here. Falcon on the gun. We have his driver over here just looking around. He's scouting that helicopter, seeing that it is a friendly. I'm trying to select him. There we go. Otherwise, Op 4 is just going to be spending a lot of time doing transport. It was Wise in the helicopter that got killed. But it's going to require a lot of maneuvering here to get up to the remaining area. Talon, I think, was he trying to hop into that window or something? He just ran up to it and just jumped into it. Like, I don't know. But I do appreciate that Op 4 does have their X-ray team up here to scout for any Blue 4 forces on the ridge, or Green 4 forces even. That way, if they wanted to come up this kill zone of a valley, they could. But as I predicted, we're seeing a lot of Op 4 forces deploying over here because they want to take this forested route in, maybe even the far left flank. But again, big kill zone. And as soon as Blue 4 figures out they're coming from this route, which the Warrior's going to be able to call out, that's when you're going to see Blue 4 start redeploying forces. That's when you might see Green 4 redeploy on this ridge. There's a lot of ways this could go down. Otherwise, UH... I'm just going to call it the Huey. Huey is flying over enemy forces at this point. You got Bayan in here. I think he's solo crewing this Vic. So I have to say, I don't think anyone's going to hit it, but we just saw a round bounce off of it. That could have... Yep, that was from the BTR 40's AG. You got that 12.7, excuse me, 14.5 millimeter now firing, but it is short. They didn't get a good hit on that Huey there. So now they know there's an Op 4 offensive coming from the south. This could give Blue 4 and Green 4 time to redeploy their forces to prepare for such an attack. Or they might keep everything the way it is because they might be fearing a possible pincer maneuver from the east as well, because Op 4 did spawn with half of their force to the east. But Op 4's completely redeployed everything to the south, utilizing these roads here. And again, it's just going to be another 5 to 10 minutes of maneuvering. You're going to start seeing some skirmishing along this border. But I want to see if Falcon sees anything. Because again, he only has 200 rounds of 50 cal in here. He has to treat it like a sniper rifle. It's an auto-ranging sniper rifle, mind you. But he has to treat it pretty much like a sniper rifle. So single shot this bitch. Which I'm not even sure if he can single shot it, but we'll see. Why does he only have 200 rounds? Because FNF balancing, what's that? See, and again, I said this earlier, I thought it was originally because maybe giving it like a Crow-style system, where, you know, you just sit in a protected area and you have a camera, and the camera you can, like, scope up to, you know, like a massive magnification. You might even have thermal optics, but you can, you know, hit the T key and it auto-ranges for you. I was thinking maybe they give it a limited amount of ammo because it's such a powerful system, but we've had two or three operations where one side has had actual Crow system Humvees, and they get 400 round boxes, and they get like 5 of them. So they get like anywhere between 1,200 and 2,000 rounds for it. And I'm like, then why are you only giving 200 rounds to the Warrior? Like, is it because it's more armored? Because 50 cal might not be able to pen it? It's a weird balance. I mean, it even has spaced armor, though. And it does have like 1,000... Here, let me check real quick. I know its coax is correct. It does have 1,600 rounds of 7.62 by 51, but I don't know. FNF has always had some really weird balancing choices, in my opinion, where they equate like a Humvee to a BTR, but all right, here we go. So he's starting off with that coax, putting it right over the head, took out one of the Op 4 guys, Michael, so a member of the Papega Pirates group. Yes, there is Pay for Paint tonight at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so they're immediately going to start popping smoke, but this is going to alert Falcon that there is a force here. Why is he pulling off of the hill? I wouldn't have left that position yet. That's a very defensive position. Huh. I think he's going to another spot, maybe over here, maybe a spot that's more open, which means if the driver's paying attention, he can get in. And, well, then again, he only has first person. So that's a bit of a weird choice, but it looks like they're getting back onto that position. That was weird. No, actually, you do see a lot of smoke maneuvers, Jansol. Here's that HE coming in, landing very close. I think they're guessing at this point, because there's no one here to call BDA, so this is just approximating based off of what that Vic's saying. But, I mean, yeah, right on where he needed to be. He might have been aiming for this position, actually, but the wind might have blown it to the right. So he got the distance right, but I think the wind blew it more east. Probably, what's that, knowing Falcon? See, now my question, though, is Blue 4 redeploying things accordingly. We got one guy up here. Mortar's firing more rounds. Yep, they fired a few more. And again, they're going to land a little off target, but What they really need to do is hold that HE until they see where hostiles are coming in. Falcon spotting more, engaging with that 7.62. He wants to keep his 50 cal until he has much more accurate shots. Maybe a group of enemies to hit because it's very limited ammo, but that's the ammo that'll insta-kill people. He's doing his best to adjust here. So he's zoomed in right now because if he was zoomed out, he'd be able to see that other guy on his right. He's focusing a little bit too much on the forested area. Got a GL that just came in. More GLs are coming out. Gets a knockout. And I think he has his driver out here just watching things. But again, this is where this asset can actually be really effective, is locking down these open areas. And that's what I was fearful about Op4 doing in regards to these open areas. Now, I wish they were coordinating a little better with that mortar because they're just kind of firing blindly here. Got more coaxial rounds coming over here. This was Iander trying to get AT out on it. But Falcon knows. I mean, he was a part of Scandy, so he knows Iander's strategy. We have a suppression. Shot whiplashes down. You have a BTR now. Trying to put shots out. This is Bay's BTR, though. And Falcon, he's in a perfectly defensive position not to take fire from that BTR. It's going to have to remaneuver to actually do something. But he's up 3 kills right now. Now, that 14.5, again, could probably disable the turret, maybe penetrate into the turret, and actually kill Falcon. Got the UH-1H flying overhead again. More rounds coming in. Bannister's down, Whiplash is down, Malin and Infidel are dead. Iander trying to find a solution here. He has to go prone because he's taking fire. Huey flying overhead might be able to report to Falcon that there's a flanking force coming, but he's going to be bottlenecked because he has to call to his commander, who then might call to the other commander if there's even if there even is that line of communication. Vic's now coming out. Got that 14.5 starting to hit into that Vic. Mortar just came in and knocked someone out. That was Bannister. He might have already been down, actually. Yeah, I think he was, actually. He was already shot to death by the Vic there. But we got a blind spray here by Mobile X out on his own with the FN Mag as a forward element, and he gets picked off. That was a bit of an interesting ploy there to put your machine gunner out that far on his own. But now I'm a little worried because Blue 4 with this isolated group, that could be an early sign of being defeated in detail here because they only have 4 guys halting what they've already identified as an enemy offensive. You got Baze Vic driving up. The Warrior might spot it. Yeah, Falcon I think just saw it, so they're going to pull away. A little fearful of its 14.5 millimeter. Op4 has a massive battle line going here. They got X-Ray on the flank. Green 4, though, I think has turned to start dealing with Op4 X-Ray up on the hilltop. I don't know. These early gains are quite good, but Alpha HQ coming up to where the Warrior is. Flux has his light AT out, ready to go, but I guess the Warrior's being panicked because of the BTR pushing its position. If the BTR hadn't pushed, I think Falcon might have been in trouble with Flux's AT. Why is Falcon looking in that direction? I think his gun's disabled. No, it's not. He's able to still raise it, but he should be focusing on watching the rear here. And immediately we see a barrage. Flux fires short and low. Now they're firing 50 cal into this BTR. 12.7 responding in kind. cake here was taken out up here. I think they're stabilizing the BTR as it fires at infantry pulling away. BTR responding with its 14.5 millimeter. That is 50 cal. Shots barraging the front. Bay actually getting a knockout here. That is the driver knocked out. Falcon's gonna be on his own. Does Falcon still have 50 cal ammo? Oddball waking back up and immediately trying to drive out. Meanwhile, this group of 3 under threat from a large Op4 force coming in. GL's being used to knock over some of the walls here. Great grenade throw right on Katz's position. He literally steps over it, gets blown away. An explosive charge was thrown on this building, killing one and knocking out another. Great call there, whoever threw that. That might have just been an explosive trap by these guys. But it was 2 machine gunners, so it wasn't their own explosives. And I think Nemesis just came in here and cleaned house. Yep. Another grenade, killing an Op4 member and knocking out another. Who threw that grenade? Might have been him waking up, I don't know, but that got messy, but really great on the grenade throws there. Normally you don't see the grenades that effective. Interesting. So Warriors pulled back. You got the BTR. It's picked up a little bit of Alpha HQ and is pushing up with him. No, it's just Flux who's gotten in with Bay. And they're trying to drive on the outskirts here. I hear the Warrior. It's pulled all the way back here. Might do a little bit of repairing first. And you're hearing gunfire up here. This is Green 4 dealing with X-Ray. I knew Green 4 probably sighted them earlier because we all saw them turn and look in the direction that X-Ray was. No casualties on X-Ray's side. And no casualties on the Green 4 side as well. Whew. Just having a little bit of water. This is a bunker that's part of the map. It's not pre-placed, and it is a very nice bunker when you need this type of position. So they've got medium machine gunners that can really barrage this position. As I say that, I think that was the... Nope, it was either the team lead or the team 2IC going down. It was Albin. Nope, he was the medic. Oh, that really sucks, because now if any of them go unconscious, they're going to have a lot tougher time to potentially get them up. Now, we do have the sniper right here. They've deployed an SSW T-kit, and they've got Timek ranging for Sushi here. Look at that ridiculous little scope on it. It's so cute. Sushi doing his best to range in some shots. If he can thread the needle, he can get some great headshots here, but I don't think he's capable of it. What you should do when you have a bolt action is do not let go of the trigger when you fire. Because when you let go of the trigger, your character automatically racks the bolt. What you need to be doing, even if you have a spotter, is hold it. That way you stay in scope when you shoot, and you can also see where that bullet is landing. So a little bit of a mistake. I get he has the spotter to range the shots, but I find it better if you can see where the bullets are going. You can make those adjustments quicker than a spotter just telling you if you're long or short. You know what I mean? That's why I always laugh when people tell me if I give them a bolt action sniper and they complain that they can't see where the shots are going. I just say, skill issue. Anyway, BTR coming around. I think it just picked someone off. I could have sworn I saw a blue 4 guy over here, and now he doesn't exist. Oh, now you're starting to see Op4 pushing through these open areas, though. Yeah, it was Fred all the way back there that got picked off by Bay. Some GLs are starting to come down. Bay on 2 kills. Is Falcon still up? Falcon is still up. He's on 5. They're going to go up to the top of the ridge and try to overwatch these open areas from there. That's a smart call, but it's going to take him a hot second to get in position. Plus, he's probably running low on 50 cal rounds since he burned a lot, if not all of it, to try to take on Bay. So you got this massive smoke push to get to this area, but they still have to smoke to get up to this area as well. You're hearing 14.5 being fired. Looks like Blue 4 utilized their budget pretty well to build some of these bunker areas to help them lock down these open areas. We got Green 4 X-Ray on the rear now. I don't think they're going to be capable of getting behind Op 4. It's just too much distance. They deployed too far back. Which, speaking of, how did they get all the way back there? Weren't they up there? I think the helicopter picked them up and moved them. And now you got the UH-1H flying all the way back here. It's a bit of a weird call, but okay. I guess looking for any other Op 4 forces still mobilizing, but at this point, we're halfway through the round. Op 4 shouldn't have anything still mobilized at this point. Meanwhile, Green 4 have pushed up some forces. It looks like they're hunting the sniper position, and another chunk, the 3 guys that were still alive, are now folding in to join the main force. Now, one issue I'm also seeing is Charlie can start coming along the flank here, but this Warrior might be able to turn around and actually start harassing this Charlie position. And I think, yeah, as I say it, Falcon starts barraging this position and takes one out. He's on 6 kills now. I think Falcon's going to go double digits here. The BTRs aren't in a position to attack Falcon. Falcon, with Oddball, have been placing their vehicle in really good spots. I struggle to see how Op 4 is going to be able to take that Vic out. AT landing just short of Vagrant's BTR here. We also have a few forces. Oh, we got a big Alpha force down here, but it's still at least 5 minutes away from getting in the AO. We have some stragglers around right here, but they're fighting stragglers on Blue 4. A 50 cal firing into this BTR. Just got some blood. Got a lot of blood there, but no kills. Interesting. That was 2 large blood splatters from a 50 cal, no less. Usually that's fatal. I'm not sure if the gunner just got killed off or what. Oh, there was a half-second little bit of desync right there. I thought he actually hit the 50 cal turret with that GL. That would have been a great piece of placement. But now you're seeing this Warrior up here, still harassing. He's on 8 kills now and 1 wounded. So he's just picking people off at this point. And if he continues, I think he's going to be able to just outperform whatever Op 4 is able to push in. Now, I'm going to be honest, though. This AO from the start, as I was saying, it's really hard to attack. Even with Pepega and Scandi Recon attacking, these open fields are just brutal to push through. And since Blue 4 has so much 50 cal static around, it's really easy to just set up a nice defensive perimeter with them to deny vehicle rushes as well. And now you're just starting to see Op 4 slowly whittling away. They still have a sufficient force to take this AO, don't get me wrong. I mean, Green 4 over here, looks like they're failing their takeout try of hitting the X-Ray sniper team. But, you know, the rest of them up there and over here just completely out of position. Blue 4 is still significantly outnumbered. But if the Warrior is able to continue harassing people and continues to be conscious about its ammo, we could see all this still turn around. But Op 4 is starting to put forces on this hill. The mortar, I would assume, is out of ammo at this point. Bay and that BTR was a really great choice as well, because he knows how to utilize any vehicle platform that's thrown. Blue 4, meanwhile, they were able to take out one of the BTR 40s, but now they're starting to be pushed. And that bunker is really under threat of someone with AT or explosives either throwing a charge in there or firing an HE round from point-blank range right into the top and killing everyone inside. This could still go either way, really. Little bit of miss PID here as now Bay is shooting into his own force here. Bay! No! Great eye to see forces over here, but Bay! We have had 3-way fights in FNF in the past. Usually they're on a neutral sector, though. But those can get really brutal. But the Audrey Hotto incident I would argue the most famous FNF incident where Audrey Hotto got Falcon messaging me he's out of ammo. So yeah, as I was saying, that warrior's only gonna be as good as he has 15 freaking kills, but he's out of ammo. Oh my god, now the UH-1H in orbit here. But Audrey Hotto had officially 21 kills, unconfirmed but more likely 23 kills, and it was a three-way sector fight in Chernogorsk. Or not Chernogorsk, excuse me, Cherno. I forget the specific town name though. But he cleaned house, and it was amazing to watch. But he still maintains the FNF record officially at 21 kills. And the UH-1H just got sniped. Oh, what a plummet. Wow. I don't know who picked off that pilot there, but that was a great snipe. That had to have been one of the BTRs, or just a really, really lucky shot. The hotel crew for the MI8 is now in the AO. It's going to start pursuing. And I got the BTR also starting to pick people off as well. This might still be an OPFOR victory, because Green 4 is still up on the ridges here. They're not doing anything. They're not really mobilizing to help the fight here. It's leaving Blue 4 to just get their butts kicked, because even though there have been some big open areas, just Green 4 hasn't really been coordinating with Blue 4 here, and Blue 4 is being left out to dry. We need to see Blue 4 make some really good plays here. The Warrior was a great crutch, but it's out of ammo. And now it's essentially just a target. Both the BTR 40s are down, but the BTR 70s are both still in play. So I don't know what Falcon's gonna do here. And there's AT hitting the Warrior, and that's smoking. And immediately, Falcon is killed off. 15 kills for Falcon, not bad, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. That's why I'm saying the day Falcon gets a competent driver in a Crow system Humvee, I think is the day he's going to break the record. But even then, you have to consider Audrey Hotto got his kill count as an infantryman with no vehicles. The only times I have seen people get close to Audrey Hotto's record is with vehicles. Bay got like, what, 14 or 15 kills last week, but he was also utilizing a Humvee with a 50 cal. Falcon just got 15, but he was using a freaking IFV Warrior. But Audrey Hotto, with those 21 kills, purely as infantry. How do you do it as infantry? Go look it up. Go watch. It's an amazing, amazing PvP video. To the point there was a 3-week investigation to see if he was actually cheating. But you see Audrey Hotto take hits. You see him get shot to shit quite a few times. Oh god, speaking of getting shot to shit, imagine getting stuck on a balcony right there. But he just keeps going in a corner, bandaging, but because it's a 3-way fight, 2 other factions were still doing things, but everything just happened in such an amazing way that allowed Audrey Hotto to just constantly kill people in pretty much a massive defeat in detail, because only a few people would go after Audrey Hotto at a time, and he just kept looting stuff. Yeah, so the Saddam op was where Bay got his kill streak last week. And then Falcon in here. 15 kills, buddy. It was good, but you ran out of ammo. You burnt too much M2 ammo in a panic when you were trying to kill the BTR. Which I get why you did it, but that's where you really drained a lot of your 50 cal ammo. But that was a good call, but OPFOR here to the north, I mean, they're pretty much overwhelming this position. BTR is going to mag dump this with 762. That cache is about to go under. That's what I was talking about. You can snipe it from the outside. There's the cache cooking off. Now, this should make Green 4 start folding in, but I don't think it's going to be enough time, because look at this. OPFOR's right on top of the cache position here. You're starting to see a mag dump. It's going to be an OPFOR victory. because Green 4 was ineffectively utilized with too many forces going on some ridge in the middle of nowhere. X-Ray literally just getting into the AO now, but completely ineffectively utilized. That allowed for Op4's number advantage to go from a 7.5% to literally a 15 to 20%. Now, this is nice though. Wow! Long range 50 cal shots just took out someone trying to mag dump the cache here. But we need it. Green 4, I think, is still too far. Op 4's right on top of the cache at this point. You're just going to see the BTRs drive in and snipe the cache from the outside. You know what I mean? It's GG. And there's the angle. You're about to see it cook off. That's Op 4 wins because even though Blue 4 had a really great AO, even though he's had people like Falcon getting massive kill counts, the defensive strategy Blue 4 had was great, but Green 4 was completely ineffectively used. And that's what cost them the victory here. Because just now Green 4's group is getting in, but that's a shame. That's a real shame in my opinion. There you go. Even if you have one of the best AOs to defend, in my opinion, if you don't have the numbers to defend it, you're still screwed.